Asalaamu Alaikum. Akhi, have you wondered what does a productive day look like for a Muslim CEO that's looking to make millions online? In today's video, I'm going to share with you how does that routine look like aligning with Islamic values. You're probably somebody that's watched all these morning routines about cold showers, all these different books about how to be productive, but they're all for kuffar, for non-Muslims. And none of them align with the Islamic principles and how a Muslim should be productive and aligning their day to make the most amount of money. And today, I'm going to show you how. So, akhi, pass me the marker, inshallah, and start giving the guys value. No, that's the black one. Give me the blue one. All right, bismillah. Let's begin. So, to first build our routine, we want to make sure as a Muslim, we build our routine around our prayer times. Because once we have the core principles laid down properly, we have more barakah in our day. So, make sure that when you build your routine, you build it around your prayer times. Okay? Now, what's next? We need to establish when do we wake up and when do we sleep. Okay, there's so much studies that show that sleeping at the same time and waking up at the same time regularly is very important for optimal performance. So for me personally, I like to wake up before Fajr. This gives me enough time to make wudu. Okay, go to the mosque if I want to go to the mosque. Okay, pray. And once I pray, I start my day with the Quran. This is very, very important, Shabab. Now, some people say, oh, I started the day, go for a run, go to the gym. No, after Fajr, start your day with the Quran. And there's so much hadith that whoever after Fajr stays awake after Fajr, reading Quran, making dhikr, all the way to Shuruq, then prays 2 raka'ats after that, gets the ajr of a umrah. This is huge, Shabab, okay? And also, you know the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ when he says, "Burakat ummati fi bukuriha." The morning times are blessed. So if you're somebody not starting your day and working after Fajr and doing things to launch the day in the right direction, you're doing yourself a disservice if you're sleeping after Fajr, or, you know, worst of all, some people don't even wake up for Fajr and stay up until Shuruq. Okay? So the first thing that I want to do is align my day with the Quran. Okay? Quran or anything related to the deen in terms of studies. And this time usually takes me like, let's say, 1 to 2 hours max, okay? Less, you know. Some majority of the times it's like 1 hour between Fajr and Shuruq. So this gives me enough time to read some Quran, do some dhikr, go to the masjid, come back, do some studies, so on and so forth. Now, once I finish this section right here, this is where I start my deep work session. This is very, very important. I want to start with the most important task first, the needle movers in a business. And anything that you want to do in life. So even if you're just starting a business right now or you're running multiple companies at the same time, which what we're doing, the most important thing for you is to push the needle forward in the business, the creativity side. This is very important. So I don't check my phone. This is a no phone zone. Very important. I don't check my phone here. It's very important for you to have tasks the night before of exactly what you need to do and what projects that you're working on. Because these are the things that move the needle forward. These are the stuff that builds your skill set, you're learning, whatever it is, okay? So usually between, let's say 8 p.m. all the way to like 12 p.m., this is usually my deep work zone where I focus on the task that moves the needle forward in the business, okay? So this is the deep work, okay? Deep work session, okay? Now I could have some breaks as well. Usually dhuhr as well comes in around 12 or so I can, you know, pray dhuhr, and then I get into the next section of the day. So now that we crafted the first bit of the day, which is the most important, if you can have your day start with Fajr, Quran, and Deen studies, okay, and then have no phone, no distractions, and then work in the most important thing. You could be learning sales, you could be learning copywriting, media, whatever it is. This is where you're pushing the needle forward. This is where the most creativity happens. Now, what do I do next? I want to then go to my next section of my day, which is roughly around 12 to like 3 p.m. This is where the afternoon time where I want to now prioritize my body, because now I used a lot of brain power, and now I want to take a quick break, okay? So usually at this time, I hit the gym, okay? Take a little break, eat some food, lunch, go for a walk, whatever you want to do. Usually I would do this for anywhere between 1 to 3 hours, depending on you. If 1 hour is enough for you, fair enough. Me, I like to take anywhere between 2 to 3 hours, okay, as a break. And this, and again, usually it's anywhere between dhuhr and asr. So this time I mean, now in winter for UK countries and majority of other countries, Dhuhr and Asr are together. So this gives you time to take a break, pray Dhuhr and Asr, and go to the gym, relax, refresh your body, and get back into business. Okay. Now we're gonna go into now the second stage of the day. Okay, because what I like to do is I actually like to break the day in half. Okay, when you break the day in half, what allows you to do is it allows you to like put certain tasks accordingly so you can actually manage your day better. So when you enter the second part of your day, this is going to be the day where you can actually open your phone, you can reply to people, you can take meetings. And this is where I stack all my meetings, okay? All my meetings are in this section. And this is usually from like anywhere between 2 to 3 p.m. all the way to like 6, 7 p.m. This is where I would do my coaching calls for the company, take meetings, any type of task or meeting that requires me to like maintain the company, maintenance, okay? Anything that that's maintenance that I'm required to like maybe just like is like a routine, I leave it to this section. Okay, why is this important? Okay, let's say if I take this section and mix it here, okay, mix my deep work with a meeting in the morning. This takes my train of thought from deep work project. Maybe I'm creating a new YouTube video, I'm creating a lot of value, or working on a big project, I'm creating a new course, and it goes into another meeting which requires different train of thought, different conversations, different notes, different action, taking responsibilities after that meeting. And there's a lot of studies that show that task switching is very inefficient. And for you, from being focused on a deep work for an hour, 2 hours, then switching to another task, it takes you at least anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes to go back into the flow and the routine. Majority of us just pick up the phone every time we get a notification or somebody calls us, and this costs you a lot. You won't realize it right now, but it costs you a lot because it takes you averagely anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes to go back into your deep work zone. And if you measure this across 6 weeks, 6 months, 12 months, years, it's gonna cost you a lot of time. And the most successful people, the most productive people, they make sure they safeguard this section with all they got, because this is the stuff that pushes the needle, and this is why people succeed faster than others, because they're better at pushing the needle forward and they're better at focusing. So the more you focus, the more that you produce. Okay, so now we discussed that this section is where I put majority of my maintenance in terms of my business or my meetings, or now I can actually answer people, call people, and reply to my emails, do everything, and get distracted. Okay, now this usually takes me to roughly around 7 p.m., 8 p.m., depending on the meetings, how they go, whatever it is. And I like to end my day around 7 to 8 p.m. because majority of the time I want to get to sleep early. Okay, I want to sleep roughly around 10 p.m. Okay, and if you're somebody that has a family, which you should prioritize, if you have a brother or sister, mother or father, you should prioritize that time with them. Or you can do other things as well. If you want to meet up with your friends, you want to do something, this is a time where you wind off because you had a long day, a deep work session for a couple hours, you went to the gym, you had your physical side of things done, you had a maintenance side where you had your meeting side of your business for a couple hours. So 7 to 8 p.m. is a perfect time to wind down. So that way you can spend more time with your loved ones, with your family, with your wife, so on and so forth, and then get into bed, bi'idhnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala, by 10 p.m. So that way you can actually have an early start again at Fajr and wake up and start your day from there. Once you have your routine scheduled like this, when you have your routine scheduled like this, you have the optimal day because you're starting your day with the most important things. You have your priorities right. Okay, you're starting to do with Quran, Deen studies. All right, you're making sure your day has a barakah because you're not sleeping after Fajr and you're gaining all the ajr. And obviously, try your best to include all the sunnahs that you can do in between salawats, so on and so forth, so you can maximize the barakah and ajr throughout your day. So Shabab, now that we have the entire routine mapped out, let me share with you guys a special gem. And this gem has been shared from one of my mentors who traveled to 80 countries. And he's like, Ayub, at the end of each day, you probably have an EUD report for your clients, for your team members to do at the end of each day. He said, when's the last time you did an EUD report for yourself? Not about your business, but you personally. And he said 2 things. He said, Ayub, tadabbur and tafakkur. I was like, Sheikh, what does that mean? He was like, it's the art of pondering and thinking. And many of us don't ponder and think enough. Maybe we'll ponder and think once a month, once a year. But what about you do it every single day at the end of each day, where you ponder about the day. Have I remembered Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enough? Have I served with ihsan, with ikhlas? Have I done what I potentially could have done today to my best of my ability in terms of my business, in terms of my family, in terms of everything else? And thinking, what can I adjust? What can I improve? This has to be something massive. It could be one tweaks there and there to improve myself every single day, to become a better human being in every aspect, as a father, as a husband, as a business owner, so on and so forth. So that was everything that I wanted to cover with you guys today in this video. And I hope you guys got a tremendous amount of value from this morning routine. And inshallah, you guys can take this and run away with it, bi'Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and build the best productive routine that you can ever build, inshallah. So if you found this video helpful, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and inshallah, I'll see you at the next one.